So there are many videos on the YouTube which you may have seen about how exactly this coronavirus is spreading across the world. What is the how much contagious it is, and what is the fatality rate of this virus? And a lot of things you may have heard about this coronavirus. But here we are going to discuss very technical things about this virus, not only just about the COVID, SARS-CoV-19, but we are going to discuss about almost all the virus, exactly how they enters into the body and how they get our body affected. So, what exactly is a virus? Virus is consists of two things basically. One is genetic material, which can be either RNA or it can be DNA. This genetic material is covered with the one protein shells that is called as casprid. So this virus actually cannot reproduce itself because of the fact that it doesn't contain the ribosomes which is required to for the protein synthesis to take place. And that is the reason why it requires some host cell to get itself multiplied. And this can be done when this virus get itself attached with the any cell. And then this cell also has a receptors. It is like a lock, and on the surface of virus we have a spike-like structure, which you can consider as a key. So this you can understand with the help of key and lock analogy. If key matches with the lock, then the virus basically enters into the cell. This process is known as endocytosis. Once the virus actually enters into the cell, then it hijack all the protein synthesis taking place in the cell. We will have to also understand exactly how this protein synthesis takes place in the cell, because in the nucleus of the cell you have a DNA, that is the genetic material. So this DNA is basically contain the code, that is also called as codons. So these codons are basically transferred with the help of messenger RNA through the process called as transcription. So these codes, these genes, these codons, they are transferred with the help of messenger RNA to our ribosomes, and the ribosomes, once it get the message from the messenger RNA, then the transfer RNA bring all the amino acids that is uh, according to the message that has been transferred by the messenger RNA. So all the amino acids are transferred by the tRNA to the ribosome, and that's how the protein synthesis takes place. This whole process is known as translation. But once the virus enters into the cell, then it hijack whole this process of translation, and this translation will not take place according to the gene that is present in the cell, but it will take place according to the genome of the virus. So that's how the this protein synthesis takes place according to the gene that is present in the virus, and that's how the virus get itself multiplied in the cell. This you can understand with the help of one example. Like once any ship is captured by the pirates, then they can take this ship in whichever direction they want to take. So that's how the whole process of protein synthesis in the cell is hijacked by the virus, and that's how virus get itself multiplied. This virus can also, after having multiplied, it can come out of the cell also uh, through the process called as exocytosis, or maybe the cell may also get burst, and These many viruses they start affecting the other cells also. So this is how exactly virus can infect these all the cells get infected by the virus. In case of COVID-19, this virus basically affect our lungs. So once it enters into the lungs, then the all the alveoli get themselves inflamed. Uh, Basically, inflammation is a one kind of also response to fight these pathogens. So in pneumonia, generally some part of the alveoli get inflamed, but in case of what is COVID-19, whole of the lungs may get inflamed. So these alveoli they cannot basically get the uh, what is called as gas exchange with the blood because of the inflammation. Lot of fluid enters into the intercellular space, and this fluid basically hinder the oxygen and carbon dioxide gas exchange taking place between the blood capillaries and the alveoli. So that's how the patient become hypoxic, and in a chronic situation he has to put on the ventilator. But there is a one risk also if we put this patient on ventilator, because if the sometime because of this artificial ventilation, this inflammation may also go on to get increased. So this has to be, a lot of precaution has to be taken. uh, then we have to understand also, once our body get infected, then what is the role of our immune system, because and how the vaccines generally are prepared, and whether the how much time it will take for us to get the vaccine prepared for COVID 19. Generally, vaccines are, prepared in a generally immune system. We have a different type of immune system. Whenever this pathogen enters into the body, then our this dendritic cell, that is also one type of leukocyte. This dendritic cell actually come to know that the cell has been infected by the virus, and once it get this information is transferred by this dendritic cell to the T cells, and then these T cells activate the B cells, and B cells get themselves converted into plasma cell, and that's how antibodies are produced. And once these antibodies are produced, they have a Y-shaped structure. These antibodies get attached with the spike like what is the structure on these virus, and once this antibody get attached, then these macrophages comes to the this virus, and they will destroy this virus. That's how the immune system works against these pathogens. And this once this uh, our body is attacked by any kind of pathogens, then this information is also saved in the T memory cells. So if the body is attacked again by the same kind of pathogen, then our immune system remember the kind of antibody that it has to prepare to get this virus destroyed. So this kind of memory is saved in our immune system. And vaccine also works on the same principle because there are many type of vaccine, like for example there is a uh, attenuated vaccine, like in this type of vaccine some weak live virus is injected into the body, and that's how the once you these pathogens this vaccine enters into the body, then our immune system start working against this and antibodies are prepared to get it destroyed. Then there is another type of vaccine called as you can say these are inactive vaccine, like in this vaccine the killed animals killed pathogens are inserted into the body, but this kind of vaccine is not very long lasting. These require boosters also, so that's why these are not very effective. Now what exactly the this there is a new vaccines now that is in the, you can say, in the process of uh, getting produced. These are the DNA vaccine, and mRNA vaccine. So these vaccines, one company now, its name is Moderna, is trying to produce this vaccine. This is called as, this is a basically mRNA vaccine. In these kind of vaccines, mRNA vaccine, this RNA will be inserted into the cell. This will be processed into the cell, and once it is processed into the cell, then it will produce the same kind of spike like structure on the virus uh, as will be produced by the COVID-19 virus. So once this type of structure or this protein will be produced, then immune system will start responding and it can memorize this response. And once and later on, when our body will be attacked by the COVID SARS-CoV-19 virus, then we will have this immune system against this immunity against this virus. So that's how these vaccines are being this is being developed, but it will take at least 1.5 years to get this vaccine developed. The best thing about this vaccine is that, because of this vaccine, lot of time will be saved, because generally in a typical vaccines, we have to first try this vaccine on animals. It takes a lot of time, but this mRNA vaccine can be tried directly on the human being, because they are not inserting any virus into the body of human beings. That's why it has even also got the permission for a trial on a human being. So, but it will take 1.5 year of time to get it developed. So until then, we don't have any option.